All right, so we're heading into a weekend. I just want to jump on, make a few updates on my trading plans, my trading levels, and go over some previous trades I took. So we have come down to hit all three of the levels I was looking at in my previous video. Those would be number one, the 382. I was looking at that 382 because we had some single prints to fill there, and I believe at the time there was a value area high right around there as well. I don't know exactly where I pulled that from. It might have been a larger fib. Yeah, but this looks about right. So I was looking at 28.3-ish. Fill these single prints that we formed on the way up. Maybe bounce off the value area high 382. And I did take this trade, very small scalp, and ended up getting stopped out on that one. I wasn't super confident in this trade, so I didn't take a large risk with it, and that one just ended up getting stopped out pretty quickly. So then, the next trade setup I was looking at was the golden pocket of that same fib. We had some more single prints down here that I was looking to fill. Also retest the previous resistance from over here, and I took this trade as well. Now this one I took a scalp originally pretty aggressively. We came up, I hit some TPs, I put my stop loss at entry, and then I ended up getting stopped out around a break even for this one. And I wasn't seeing anything super convincing to want to make me re-enter once I got stopped out here. If we saw some absorption following this last low, I probably would have re-entered here, but we really didn't see anything. So yeah, I just ended up sitting out of that move for the most part. But I did grab a scalp from the golden pocket and the VWAP when we retested it here, and that one ended up being a pretty decent trade. I locked in a profit on that one, got stopped out for a pretty decent profit. And yeah, that was pretty much all the trades I took yesterday. Overall, I took 3 trades. One was a small loss, one was a break even, one was a pretty decent winner. Now fast forward to this morning. We actually came down and hit this 15-minute order block I was looking at, as well as the golden pocket. And if I zoom out here, I believe it's also the value area low. So yeah, we tapped off the value area low as well. Got a pretty nice bounce from there. And I, again, was able to get into a long on the golden pocket retracement. So we got that move down to the order block at like 7 something in the morning, 7:40. I was still asleep. I've been trying to wake up earlier because a lot of times you see the big moves like an hour or two before New York Open. So I've been trying to get up a little earlier, but unfortunately today I didn't. But after New York Open, we started getting a move down towards the golden pocket and down towards the value area low of this local range. I don't know if it was still the value area low. It was the point of control at the time. And as we got that move down to the golden pocket, we did in fact see some absorption. CVD making a lower low with the open interest increasing pretty significantly. A lot of shorts coming in to this golden pocket. And so decided to take that absorption trade setup. I put my stop loss originally down below the value area low, I think. I went with a little tighter of a stop because I wanted to try and just lock this one in quickly, put my stop loss to entry. And as we started getting this move to the upside, once we broke the local highs here, once I was a little bit more confident in this playing out, I moved my stop loss to right below the wick. And this is a little bit more aggressive than I usually play absorption strategies, which, that has its pros and cons. Since I had a tighter stop, I could put more margin on the trade, and because of that, I could TP a little earlier and, TP a little bit more than I usually would have and, lock in a profit quicker. But also, there was a higher chance of price just coming down, stopping me out, and then continuing up. That is why oftentimes I like to put my stop below the 786 for absorption on golden pocket retracements, because sometimes it can take a while for those whales to fill up their limit orders. Sometimes they want price to come down to the 786, but for this one I played it more aggressively, and it ended up working out. I locked this one in quickly. I think my first TP was right above these highs. And after that, I put my stop loss down below the 886 fib, the local one, from that low to whatever high we just put in. Basically locked in a break even at that point. And from there, I set a few TPs up higher. I TP'd about half my position out now, a little bit more than half actually. And yeah, I still have some TPs set higher. But yeah, that is pretty much the last like day or so of trading. It hasn't been the best week of trading, but there have been some pretty good plays. And all in all, I played it pretty well. It's been a profitable few days for me. So now let's talk about some future trade plans I'm looking at. So number one, we put in this wick right above this now untapped daily level. It was the daily open yesterday. Now if you go to the daily time frame, since we have opened a new daily candle, and we have not come back down to test this. This is an untapped daily level. And with the wick being there, that kind of gives us, a trade setup inside of a trade setup, because we can look for an SFP of this wick, look for a bounce off the untapped daily. So right now that is the long that I'm watching basically. And for shorts, we have this high up here. I'm sure there's lots of liquidity up here. In fact, I'm sure there's lots of liquidity at all of these highs up here, considering we really haven't seen any moves to come up and stop out shorts. And this wick stands out to me because it is actually a market structure point, at least locally. We have this little local downtrend, high, low, lower high, lower low. So I am potentially watching this wick for an SFP. It is also right around the midpoint of the channel that we're trading in. So yeah, that's just a little scalp idea I had. I'm also paying attention to today's daily open, or yesterday's daily open, today's daily candles daily open. But there really isn't a lot of confluence around here. In fact, I would rather us come up a little bit higher to take out these highs, if anything. But yeah, right now I'm watching this high at like 28,500 and the midpoint of this channel. And then I'm also watching these highs, the 28,800 highs. We put in a wick right below this wick. So there's still probably stop losses above this high. There's now also probably stop losses above this high. So I'm looking for a potential SFP of the highs as well. And I am still watching the untapped weekly up here, right around the previous range point of control and the top trend line of this channel. So yeah, those are pretty much the trade ideas I'm looking at the moment. We can look at market Cipher and see if we can build a bias here. And, you can see the 4-hour money flow is continuing to bleed out. Still kind of thick, but still this looks like the beginning stages of the money flow starting to bleed out. Momentum is backing that up as well, really starting to fall off here. The 2-hour has been looking like that for a while, and this last wave does kind of look like that 4 hours, but the VWAP is curving back to the upside, potentially looking to print a green dot here. Money flow has been coming down, but let's check the 1 hour. Money flow coming down on the 1 hour too, and this green dot doesn't look super strong. The VWAP came up and now is curling back over. Might want to print a red dot here. So honestly, it seems like things might be looking more bearish than bullish. But you could compare this chunk of market Cipher to this chunk of market Cipher over here and say, well, we had money flow bleeding out, momentum really curling down to the downside, but price continued to put in higher highs. I'd say as long as we hold this channel, that is still a possibility. Maybe we come up to some of these key levels, maybe we SFP the highs again, and we see continued bear divs, and maybe then we can see a break outside of this channel to the downside. The 24-minute money flow is getting a move to the downside right now with a red dot. The 12-minute was looking kind of bullish earlier. It still can turn around. The VWAP is, curling up right now. Money flow is locally making higher lows, but not looking super bullish. So yeah, overall, like 4-hour to 24-minute is looking pretty bearish. Not the best thing for the long position I'm in right now, but maybe we'll be presented with a better long. This is still the main area I'm watching, this daily. And if we end up breaking out of this channel to the downside, we'll have to look for some more long ideas. You could still look at this wick back here, but if we're going to come down to there now, we'd be breaking out of this channel, and I'd be careful with that. I don't know if I'd want a long as soon as we break out of this. But it has seemed like the weekends have been giving us pretty bullish moves. Let's take a look at last weekend. From Friday to Sunday, we saw a pretty large move to the upside. Let's check the weekend prior. So yeah, even last weekend we got a move to the upside from Friday down here to Sunday whenever the markets opened. So yeah, the weekends have been giving us moves to the upside. So yeah, it's possible that that pattern continues, even though Market Cipher isn't really backing it up. But you could say last weekend Market Cipher wasn't really backing it up either. At least during this section, money flow on the 12-minute was bleeding out during this whole move to the upside. And then we did see another spike here come in later, pretty much out of nowhere. So overall, I'd say right now Market Cipher is leaning more bearish, but it isn't super clear. So yeah, honestly, I do not know what price is going to do, but we can still look for trade setups in both directions. And be responsible with it. De-risk as soon as possible, take profits when you got them, and maybe we'll see that pattern of weekend volatility continue. Anyways, that's about it for this one. Thank you all for watching. If you enjoyed, please consider leaving a like and subscribing. Really appreciate the support, and I'll see you all in the next one.